I have had this question a number of times, and when I was asking it, no one would ever give me an answer. I'm like, please just tell me, when will I know? I'm miserable, but do I stay for the kids? Do I stay for the hope that my partner's going to change? When will I know? So I'm going to try to put some context around that question for you from what I've learned from coaches, therapists, other survivors, thrivers, those that have been out for decades. So here we go. A couple of stories first. I have several friends, obviously, because I've been doing this for so long, that have left a narcissist. And when I first learned, I was like, how in the world did you do that? I can barely get out of bed every day. I wake up going, I just need to survive today. How in the world are you still walking and breathing? You left? And they would go, yeah. The minute I knew I was ready to leave, I can tell you where I was, what I had been doing, and exactly what I was looking at. For example, a friend of mine named Dale said she was driving down a street and was passing this tree in Chicago, and she said, I remember the exact tree I was looking at, and I thought, I don't have to live this way anymore. I thought, okay, well, that's encouraging. Another friend of mine, Lauren, was sitting in her kitchen looking out the window, and the then husband at the time said, you're still cheating. Get off your email. She was using work email. And Lauren said she closed her laptop and looked at him and goes, I'm done. I'm done. I said, well, what made you know that? She goes, it had been building and building, and I just knew nothing could be worse than what I was living through in that home. I thought, okay, makes sense. But it still wasn't enough for me until I hit that point. So I'm going to give you some questions that can help give you clarity either way. And then we're going to talk about that narcissist and the chances of him or her evolving, changing behaviors, whatever it may be. Because you guys know, I don't believe that narcissists can truly change. I interviewed Lee Hammock, and hopefully we can have him back on this channel. He's a diagnosed narcissist who, if you follow him, he's on TikTok. He has like 1.2 million followers because, I mean, the guy keeps it real. His answers were just about textbook. You know, do you love like we do? He's like, no. And we're like, oh, because we want to think that narcissists love like we do. No. I asked him, can you change? And he said, well, I'm in therapy and I'm trying to change my behaviors, but I'm always angry right here below the my facade, right below the surface. There's always anger right here. So if someone taps into it, then, or if I'm very tired, then that anger can just come out. I can rage. So anyway, you guys know how I feel about narcissists changing. I'm not saying it's impossible, but Lundy Bancroft, the psychologist, says he worked with 2,000 abusive men. It's in his book, Why Does He Do That? And he just worked with men, so I'm not stereotyping narcissists. They can be male or female. He worked with 2,000 abusive people, and only a handful changed over the course of 2 decades. What does that tell you? And guess what they were doing, okay? Therapy, support groups, so one-on-one therapy, couples therapy. They were doing it all. Probably some workbooks and some readings thrown in there too. And they changed their behaviors, not the core of who they were. So anyway, that's why I made the decision I do, and I believe that narcissists really can't change. We can address the religious part. Can God change them later? So anyway, here's some questions you can ask yourself if you're like, Laura, do I stay or do I go? Number 1, do I feel more at peace with this person? I mean, when you're around your partner, do you feel more at peace? Or are you on eggshells? Are you constantly wondering, is he or she going to be in a bad mood today? Is this person going to rage at me? Is this person going to surprise me and kiss me? What's going to happen? Number 2, when you are away, or ask yourself this question this way, when I'm away, am I always thinking about that person and how to make them happy and what they're doing and what I can do to repair this relationship that seems to be breaking apart? Are you always worried about their feelings or say 90% of the time, you're thinking about them and how you can make things better. Because it should be both ways. Both people should be working to make it better. Number 3, does my partner get my back? If you're in, I'll use my grandmother's words, if you're in a pickle, is your partner going to come up and get your back and say, no, you can't treat him that way. No, you can't treat her that way. What's going to happen? And then finally, this one really resonates with me still now with friends, you know. Does this person make me a better person? That's enough on its own merit, right? That question. So I have been taking, and oh my gosh, it's been unbelievable. It's been transformational for me. And that's why I have decided to call this new channel Transformational Knowledge, because everything I've learned is transformational. And then it's called a mastermind class that I've taken with this transformational leader named Darius Daniels. And this is something that he's taught us. And I believe it, so I'm going to share it with you. He's worked with Dr. Henry Cloud and others like that as well. There are 5 types of people that you can't help in this world. 5. And here's what Dr. Daniels said. So let me find it. You can't help people, number 1, who don't think they need it. So number 1, you can't help people who just don't think they need it. They think they're perfect, or they're just fine as they are. Everything's working for them, etc. Why change? This person may be thinking, why do I change? Because everything's working for me. Number 2, you can't help people who know they need it, but they don't want it. Number 3, you can't help people who know they need it, but they don't want it yet. Maybe it's too much fun to do what they're doing. They know that perhaps they're living outside their moral or ethical boundaries, but why change now? Are you kidding me? Hello, I got it going on just like I'm doing now. Number 4, people who don't want it from you. Honey, I really want this marriage to work. I love you. And they're like, well, yeah, I love you as much as I can love you, but you can't help me. Maybe if I discard you or move on, I can get the help I need. So people who don't want the help from you, or they think I'm speaking for myself. I was told I was stupid and ignorant and I couldn't help anyone. Contrary to what that person said, I think that's not true. And then finally, here's a good one, Dr. Daniels. People who don't want to do the work. It takes work to change. It takes work to heal. And I think it's easier for you and me to heal than it is for a narcissist to change. Because a broken heart that's been put back together, I think, is one of the most beautiful hearts that you will ever find. Because that's the person who has been through, you know what, and can still keep walking, still put one foot in front of the other, and then even take it a step further and help someone else who's been hurt so badly. So, and I'm gonna give you some comfort and then I'll go. So when these people don't listen, one of these top 5 people that you can't help don't listen, here's what you gotta do. Because sometimes they're not gonna listen. Most of the time they're not, especially if they're narcissists. If you're a narcissist that you know fits in those categories. You're going to give up, but you're going to give up with pride. You're going to pat yourself on the back because you know that you tried your very best. And you can take a deep breath and keep putting one foot in front of the other and go, I've tried and it's not working, so I'm gonna concentrate on me. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not being selfish. Oh, this is my favorite point to make, probably this whole video. You're not being selfish. It is self-preservation. Self-preservation. And then here's another one. Again, you take care of you. Again, self-preservation. If you don't take care of you, no one else is. People will take and take and take. Not even narcissists, just people you know. Take and take and take and take. And you're left totally empty, running on fumes, hurting, that heart is breaking again, and nobody's coming to repair it. Nobody's stepping forward going, here, let me take that off your shoulders. And then, once you have done those things, you've given up with pride, you've been able to pat yourself on the back, you're learning to take care of you. Here's the key. Everything starts to fall into place. You get clarity because you're stronger, you're more vibrant. You can see things more clearly. You can see that toxic friend that you're like, you drain me. All I ever do is listen to you complain. I can't do it. You learn, that friend over there supports me and loves me like I deserve to be loved. Everything else also falls into place. Your job, love, for real, it does. I can attest to that. If you're a part of a religious group, your religion, you start to feel more plugged in with a higher power. Your friends, and your money. We all could use a little money this time of year, right? So, that's what I wanted to share with you today. When you know, you'll know. But there are some steps embedded in this video that can help you find out sooner rather than later. Because you deserve so much better. You deserve the best. So go get them. Remember, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are enough. And I'm so glad you're here and you're part of my tribe. Bye-bye.